All right, before we get into it,
Yeah, yeah.
just let me have it now.
Guy. I'm not that
No, but you
vindictive
deserve
guy,
to be today because I got to tell you, I didn't watch the last inning. I went to bed thinking, all right, the Yankees swept the Twinkies. We have
Chappie,
a day off.
Chappie's your guy.
I know that's a big sports thing. I don't know when that started. Booney, Chappie, Voidy, all that
annoying.
Shit.
It would be more annoying if I didn't think it didn't emanate from hockey. I mean, I think they do this in north of the border, and largely in hockey players do it. And I like hockey players. I largely, they're my favorite athletes, by the way. So I'm on record for that. So they have this goofy thing of throwing you're I don't know what you would be.
I don't know what I'd be. Well, think about it. As crazy as mine would be, yours would be equal. I mean, Timmy E. I mean, you can't Timmy.
And I'm Timmy to a lot of people, and that's good. I like Timmy. Doesn't bother me. It doesn't make me feel like a little boy or anything like that.
No.
I mean, your son's Timmy. Yeah.
My son's Timmy. Yeah. Look.
How did things work out with Lily in the DMV? Speaking of just how things are going with the kids.
So it's funny. We never followed up. I mean, people think we orchestrated that. I swear on a Bible, they picked up literally 5 minutes into our taping, and I was on hold for 6 effing hours. That's not.
I feel like we played a role. Commercial break played a role in the DMV finally coming through for you.
So I could not contain my excitement that, because for me at a certain point it became just, F you. You're not gonna. It's a battle of the wills, right? And I'm just not gonna acquiesce, and that's because I'm a psycho. And when they answer the phone, I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe this. So I'm like, don't hang up. And then I asked her some questions, and then she didn't have any answers to. I'm like, well, I got other things I want to ask you about because I've been on hold for so effing long.
Yeah.
So it was. But thank you for remembering that. But here you go, because it's a Friday. I'm going to throw a couple names at you. You're probably not going to know. Okay, so just stay with me here.
Gaynor Hopkins, I didn't know, so keep going.
But you figured it out, and that's the beauty of this. Okay.
Yes.
Today's a special day. Here are a couple names.
Every day's a special day. Yeah.
Peter Ostrom. Okay, Peter Ostrom.
Peter Ostrom.
Julie Dawn Cole.
No.
Denise Nickerson.
No.
Paris Themin. Nothing. None of these. Now hold on. Now this is gonna
you're answering the questions for me. You don't even know if
No, I know you don't know. Now here's a name that you may know. So this might start connecting dots. Jack Albertson. Remember, he was the man in Chico and the Man. Jack Albertson. Start to get those wheels.
He was
spinning.
the man. Okay.
Jack Albertson is part of this.
Okay. So what is it about Freddie Prinze that we're talking about today?
We're not talking about Freddie Prinze. We're talking
Freddie
about
Prinze Jr., by the way, I got no time for. Anyway.
I just gave you the cast of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I mentioned that because I would submit, and you probably have a different view, I think that's Gene Wilder. Born Today, I think that's his greatest role.
Smart actor, clever is a term I'd maybe use.
Clever.
Who is the fat kid that got sucked up into the blueberry?
Well,
Engelbert?
that was not Engelbert. So I gave you the name. That was it was
Engelbert was the fat kid on the Bad News Bears, wasn't he?
That was Augustus Gloop.
Oh,
and that was Michael Bollner played Augustus Gloop.
Michael Boner?
Bollner. Notice I tried to enunciate because I knew if I didn't, that's the first thing that was come out of your mouth.
I don't
Meanwhile,
know what you're
the Knicks
talking
had
about.
a guy back in the day. They had Anthony Bonner, if you recall.
Yeah. Yes, I do. Remember Anthony Bonner? He was on. I'm gonna say like circa 93-ish.
I like what you did there.
Teams.
I like what you did there.
Yeah.
He was like Xavier McDaniel light type thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
was. I was gonna say he was a 3 that wanted to be a 2, and came out of. I'm gonna say he came out of like a.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll give you some hints. Just
Yeah.
And I will tell you without equivocation. Yesterday we mentioned the fact that Gloria Gaynor. Who did we talk about yesterday?
Gloria Gaynor. We talked about Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie Raitt.
We talked about
Bonnie
Tyler.
And I
Jennifer
said to you,
Warnes,
do you
Kim
think
Carnes.
anybody else on the planet is talking about Bonnie Tyler? The answer is no. Do you think anybody else right now? By the way,
but Anthony Bonner. No.
Anthony Bonner, born on June 8th. It's just fate would have it. So Anthony Bonner, I'm going to tell you. Okay. He went to, wow, this is a tough one to come up with.
All right.
Okay, watch me here. Lindbergh. Lindbergh.
Lindbergh.
Okay, save that.
Pelly Lindbergh, goalie for the
Plain,
Flyers.
plain. Lindbergh,
Plain.
plain.
Atlantic, ACC, Atlantic Coast Conference. He played for.
What was it? What was the name of Charles Lindbergh's plane?
Oh,
Spirit of St. Louis.
thank you.
He went.
all right.
He went to St. Louis University, and
St.
he
Louis,
was.
I never would have had that.
Yeah,
St.
no,
Louis
yeah.
University in
And when did you say
Ohio.
he played? When did you say he played for the Knicks?
I said 93.
Bang. 93 through 96. See, that's
can't
why
tell
you
you
do
what
what you do.
I can't tell you what I've had for breakfast, but I could probably give you a 1993 Knicks lineup. All right, so let's talk about forget Anthony Bonner, forget Gene Wilder, forget Engelbert, or Gustav.
Engelbert has nothing to do with this conversation, by the way.
All right. But the market is behaving as if it really has like kind of blown through the glass ceiling of the elevator.
You remember that?
It's no, but I mean it has. It suddenly looks like we're going to 5,000 nobody's business, and we're doing it probably in the easiest path we can get through. Once you break through the glass, you basically have to have the rocket fuel of the top 5 names out there, which are Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook, to take you there. And those stocks are taking us there. I tell you what, man, 5,000 or bust by the fourth quarter.
Look at you. I like what you did there. You're just throwing it. But is it getting us there as recklessly as the elevator got Willy Wonka, Jack Albertson, and Peter Ostrom through the? Remember, if you recall, Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka was concerned that they might get through, but they might also be cut to ribbons, if you recall. If that's sort of spinning in my head.
Yeah, no, I mean it's kind of like an Icarus tale, isn't it?
Icarus, nice. I like what you did there. Flying too close to the sun.
And I think at some point, look, investors that have been through any major pullbacks always have an Icarusian kind of a fear. I did that, yeah. And I think look, one of the biggest problems for investors in the last 5 years is that they've been scared of themselves, and they've been scared of a dynamic where the fundamentals shouldn't warrant this kind of a move, but it's happened, and it's happened because of the Federal Reserve, and a lot of investors have been too cute rather than staying long and going for these long-term compounders. So look, I don't know whether we're flying too close to the sun, or whether they're going to get torn to shreds, or whether I'm going to turn into a blueberry and get sucked up into some like pipe. Is that what happened to Gustav? Right?
See, you're what do they call it? You're conflating. You're confusing. Yeah. That was Augustus Gloop was the large. I think he was sort of an Eastern European young boy. That drank all the chocolate in the moat there.
I didn't enjoy Willy Wonka. I gotta tell you, man. I found it. I mean, I was happy for Willie, and his grandfather seemed like a dear old man. But I found the whole movie kind of annoying. So,
okay. Fair enough. And so that was not your favorite. So here's one for you before we get out.
We got to go.
Think of this for your next band's name. Listen closely.
Okay.
Wings of Icarus. That's a
Wings
Wings
of Icarus. Yeah, I mean, you're right. And think of all the other bands that had Wing in them. Obviously, Wings, Paul McCartney, and think about Kip Winger. And
it's funny, Deborah Winger, who we talked about yesterday. I mean, see how it all comes together. It all comes together.
Although I don't think we were talking about Deborah Winger on commercial break when we were live. It was when we were on the commercial break that we started talking about Deborah.
Sorry.
I got a lot of time for Deborah Winger and her lookalike from Goodfellas. But
Lorraine Bracco.
They were. I mean, absolutely. Guy, there's no one that looks like you today, man. And I hope you have a good weekend. I'm not watching Willy Wonka. Later.